Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 33 of our Get Your Goals Annual Challenge. We're doing one thing every day that helps you and me get what we want out of different areas and aspects of our life. And this month, the month of February, we are focusing on our emotional well-being, the emotional area and aspect of the life framework. I use a life framework with 9 different components: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And that is just the process that I use to make sure that I'm considering all the different areas and aspects of my life that I think are really, really important in order to continually move me in the direction I want to go in each different area and aspect of my life, not just in my career and my jobs and my businesses and my financial, but my relationships, my spiritual, physical, mental, emotional well-being, how I'm showing up in the world, what I'm contributing. And core to that, to me, is my level of confidence and my ability to communicate in different areas and aspects of my life, right? Because communication and confidence are extremely foundational to our ability to interact with other people, build relationships, physically take care of ourselves. And it's not just communication and confidence with other people, it's with ourselves as well. So we're talking about emotions this month, and today's topic is that we are first and foremost emotional beings. Now, our emotions are actually the physical sensations we experience in our body due to our nerves and brain melt. Due to our nerve endings and our, I'm looking at the wrong day, 2 days ago. Our nerve transmissions and our hormones. So our hormones and our nerves react to different stimuli, right? From all of our different senses: sight, sound, hearing, taste, smell, touch, and then that sixth sense, that intuition that many of us have developed over the years. Mine, middle of the road intuition, but I know that if I don't listen to it, if I don't tap into it, if I don't pay attention to that weird feeling I get, that something's off, I'm going to make a mistake. So we listen to our senses and we experience our senses through feelings. And our emotions are actually our subconscious awareness of those emotions, those feelings, right? Feelings are the physical things. Emotions are kind of the mental things, the actual recognition that there's something going on. I love this topic. I will admit I experienced emotions all my life, of course, but I didn't actually consciously think about feelings and emotions until pretty much later in life. I would say well into my 30s or 40s before I even thought about how I felt about different things. I was so busy just going through the motions of what I thought I was supposed to do with my life that I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was miserable in some areas and aspects of my life. And it wasn't until I woke up and decided to change and understand myself better that any of that changed. So today, our action item is going to be really simple. It's going to be to describe how you feel about your emotions in one sentence, or a couple of words. So you could even use the framework, I feel blank about my emotions, and you can just describe, how do you feel about your emotions? I did a little research and I thought it was really interesting. Everybody does these studies, mostly government funded, on different topics, and one of the things that they've studied is human emotions. And they've come to find that, what do you think is the strongest human emotion? Anybody? Comments below? It's fear. Fear is the strongest human emotion, and therefore it drives us to change, to make decisions, to make choices, because we're afraid of things. That means if we're afraid to do something like step out our comfort zone for any reason whatsoever, fear, the emotion of fear, will help to keep us locked in the same position over and over and over again, sometimes for years or decades, because we're afraid to push that fear envelope. Really, fear is just a feeling we have. Now, back in the olden days, in the cavemen days, it was important because it kept us from being eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or a bear or something. It kept us safe, physically safe. But the days of us being physically unsafe are slim to none, and they're usually based on our choices and decisions to participate in things or go to areas that are not or might not be safe for us. But otherwise, as humans, we're in a relatively safe position, at least compared to the cavemen days. So Fear is the number one emotion. But what are some other emotions, and what are some other feelings that we get? Feelings, remember, are the physiological things that happen in our body due to our ability to use our senses. And emotions are the words that we use to describe those feelings. So, for example, California, they did a study and they said there's 27 primary human emotions. Other studies say there's 8. One thing about the internet, you can get inundated with information. You can go down rabbit holes that will keep you lost forever. So I like to just skim the surface of what seems to be the most important or the most common themes. And then if it isn't important, if it isn't something I want to really delve into, I just let it go. But I thought the emotion lists were kind of interesting. They said the 8 primary emotions are joy, sadness, acceptance, disgust, fear, anger, surprise, and anticipation. Now, I'm curious that nowhere on that does it say love, right? So I didn't love that list, so I switched and I found a study of 27 emotions from a study in California, and they had admiration, adoration, aesthetic appreciation, amusement, anger, anxiety, awe, awkwardness, boredom, calmness, confusion, craving, disgust, empathetic pain, entrancement, excitement, fear, horror, interest, joy, nostalgia, relief, romance, sadness, satisfaction, sexual desire, surprise. Again, nowhere on there is love, which I think is the most basic need of all human beings. Just my opinion, of course. But then I reminded us that there's different types of pain that we experience, and feelings of pain due to being thirsty, due to being hungry, due to needing air or not being able to breathe, due to our genetic predisposition for feeling certain things that help us to survive. So they're evoked by an internal bodily state. Like if you feel hungry, that's something inside you that is trying to get your emotional attention and your brain's attention to say, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I have to go to the bathroom, I better do something about this. So that's, I think it's really interesting that I, as an engineer and scientist and growing up, experienced my emotions, but I didn't really deal with them. And I didn't really ever consciously think about them. I just went through the motions of life, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I don't know, probably, maybe I grew up and we were taught to, at least in school, suppress our emotions and just kind of go with the flow of what was going on and not get upset, not fight, not feel angry or whatever. We were kind of kept on a level plane of existence. And I think that over time that sort of numbs us to what's really going on inside us. So today is an invitation to tap into, how do you really feel? What are you feeling? What are you experiencing? And then what feeling is that creating in your life? And what words and things do we use to describe that? Those are the emotions. I think the emotions are how we describe things. And it's part of why I'm so fascinated with words and language and things, because I like the 27 list of emotions, even though it's got some weird stuff on it. Depending on how you define those words, it gives you more possibilities and a wider range of feelings and emotions to choose from. And when we have more opportunities, a wider range of emotions and feelings to choose from, we make better choices and decisions. If whenever any little thing makes me feel uncomfortable, I go right to fear and I shut down, that's not necessarily going to be in my best interest, right? Because I'm never going to be stepping out of or doing things that could really, really benefit me and be better and make me feel much better about my life than if I just stay in my little bubble. So again, share one sentence. How do you feel about your emotions? And we will pop into another emotion-related topic tomorrow. Any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. Yes, we are going to deal with our emotional goals this month in a couple of days. All right, have a great day, and I'll be with you tomorrow.